What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Exposed, but in a good way. And we're here with CEO and founder Patrick Kelly of AutoSmart Detailing Vocational Institute. Thank you for having us on today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Man, to be in another school this summer, we did DJ7 in his NOLA service, and he doing a great service to the kids. We did Silk McKids interview, Miss Mimi with Silk McKids. Now we here in another institution,
Yep.
starting outside of the normal summer camps of just running around all day. Now for you to have something like this, what inspired you to do something like this?
Well, I started the school in 2022, but I didn't launch my first class in 2024. I just took all of my experiences that I had in the detailing industry and felt like it's an avenue for education component. Most of the detailing industry is product based. So by being product based, you don't have the structural side of how to actually operate a detailing business. So when I was going through those challenges of how do I actually run a business, how do I actually scale a business, I figured once I started figuring out what to do, I figured there's a lot of other individuals that are having those same challenges. So I said, why don't I just format it into an actual curriculum and then launch the school?
That's interesting because I thought when you mentioned detailing, it was more service based.
Yeah.
So it's more on the product side.
Yeah. So the industry push a lot of product. It is a service based business. It's a logistics based business as well, because you're dealing with a lot of moving pieces. So once you grow to multiple vans, now you have to keep track of where all those vans are, as well as customer data, customer information. So making sure once the customer come through your journey of booking the appointment, a detailer or a technician goes out to service the job, they give you an actual follow-up or review. And then from there, now you keep targeting that individual as a regular customer.
Yeah.
But it is service based, but this industry is just targeting products. And I think, what I'm offering and adding to the mix is more the business side of the detailing, because you have the hands-on, but where's the business?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
that's what I'm adding.
it's like that for a lot of industries, not
Right.
just this one.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like people, they understand how to do the job.
Right.
They have that talent, or we should say,
Mm-hmm.
but having a structure, the business structure is something that's missing, and we need to talk more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is the difference in a lot of people when you tell them a detail price over a car wash price? Some people think you're trying to scam them.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest difference that you would tell people that when somebody come in full detail from just a car wash? What is the difference?
So I get this question a lot. The difference is a car washer is a generalist, so they know a little bit about everything, but they're not specific.
Right.
A detailer is a specialist and a problem solver. So he or she is specific in an area. So maybe paint correction, maybe wet sanding and polishing. He or she may love doing interior detailing jobs. So, or ceramic coating. So when you come and get trained, now you stepping away from just a generalist that just knows a little bit about it, but not proficient in a way to perform a job at the level of a professional, versus a person that is going through the training and getting a professional, having that professionalism when they go out and detail vehicles. Another question I would ask is, have you ever went to a car wash and you got your vehicle done and it didn't turn out how you expected it?
Yes.
Well, that's a person that's just doing just a little something just to, get the vehicle done. Most people that wash cars are into volume. So they have to do so many vehicles, but the income or the percentage that they're getting per vehicle is extremely low.
Right.
So when you're dealing with a detailer, we're dealing in quality.
Right.
So the volume is lower. We charge a little bit more, but we spending more time on your vehicle
Right.
to make sure it's right.
And when I see that some detail prices might run you 400, and I didn't have a car detail, and they cleaned the engine. My engine was shining.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom parts, they actually get into the lights, taking that struggle, getting in between the mirrors,
Mm-hmm.
and the car wash is just cold. I actually had a car wash experience this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna say the car wash name. I'm gonna give them time to fix the problem,
Yeah.
but it was horrible.
Riches.
Yeah, you said it, but man, they do. It's just like they do a horrible job.
Yeah.
But she go there. I go to the one down from my office.
Mm.
But I think with his situation is he don't have the buckets on the outside where you can wash off your tires first and stuff, and then go through the wash. That's how it is at the car wash down the street from my office. He lets you go through there, and when you get out, if you got a lot of dirt on your tires.
Yeah, it ain't coming off
Unless you go out there and manually, and then they ain't give me the towel. Normally, when you go through there, they give you the air freshener and the towel. They ain't give me the air freshener or the towel that particular time. So that's a little thing that I caught. But would you say car washes? From car washes, regular hand washing.
I think hand washing a vehicle is better, and I think locking in on an actual detailing person is good. Because now that person is familiar with your vehicle and can recommend certain things that you may need that you may not see, but they see is something or a challenge that could be fixed. So when you're going through like a tunnel wash or an express wash, you have to realize that you have a high volume of vehicles that's coming in there. So you may have 50 mud trucks coming through there, and then now here come your car right behind that.
Right.
So now that creates scratches, swirl marks, marring, which we teach you. We teach the students that come through the school on how to remove those defects in the paint. But having a detailing person that can perform a hand wash or a foam wash to your vehicle is very important, because now you're building that relationship. Because whenever you get another vehicle or you have an issue, you can pick up the phone and call. You can't call no one from Bricks and say, I spilled milk in a car, could you remove the smell, remove the odor, remove the milk? They can't. They're not personalized in that way.
But I'm asking you a question. Is it the car wash industry is getting just like the barber industry? They got so many new tools coming out. And some people think because I got all the toys, I can charge you more.
Okay.
Nah, they got all these chemicals and all these fancy tools. You know, when we wash cars, they say don't use dish detergent, but you better put some dish detergent in there. You got a couple of towels and you just go in there. You got dry towel, you got whatever. But nah, so you think guys charge you more like, I got all the equipment now, so I'm going to charge more based on me having all this new equipment than me actually doing a job.
Well, what I would say to that, I would say ask the detailer questions. And if he's not delivering it or she's not delivering it in a way that makes you feel comfortable about the service and about the end result, then I will continue to shop around. Because if you've been in the industry for a number of years, you can explain exactly what we're going to do and why are we using all of these tools to effectively get the job done. If that detailer can't fully explain to you what they're doing and how they're going about the process of eliminating whatever your situation is, then send them to the school.
Straight up. So leather, I want to know about the leather component. I know we're in the heat right now. It's summer months here, and that leather is cracking.
Right.
Is that something also under the umbrella of detailing?
Yes, it is under the umbrella of detailing. You should your leather should be conditioned. The reason why it's cracking is because it doesn't have any condition, so the sun is drying it out, and as it dry it out, it's cracking it up. So what I would recommend is they have some guys that do leather repair, that can repair cracks or rips in your leather. But once you get it repaired, or if you have a new vehicle, you always want to make sure that leather is conditioned. So maybe twice a month you may do like a full conditioning of the leather, as well as they have coatings that you could put on the leather as well to protect it as well.
Mhm.
So when you apply like a leather coating on, it's going to preserve it, as well as it's going to make sure that it's still supple and feel like leather.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
Walk us through a situation, one of the worst job experience situations you had with detailing, and how did you overcome that?
Um, it's a common situation that a lot of detailers deal with. A client will call in. They say, "Hey, my name is such and such." We'll present ourselves. "Hey, my name is whatever the detailing business name is," and you would ask the question of, "Well, what condition is your vehicle in?" "Oh, it's not that bad." Anytime a customer says it's not that bad, it's that bad. So I had a situation whereas a customer called in, they wanted to get dog hair removed out of their vehicle. They told me it wasn't that bad. Now, this is in the beginning stages when I didn't have all of the knowledge and expertise that I have to ask inquiring questions to get the full gist of what's going on. The whole car had a bunch of dog hair in it.
Yeah.
And it took me 4 hours just to remove the dog hair. That's even
Yeah.
before washing the vehicle. So, it's you go through those challenges with customers. Or another challenge would be they say, "I have a car, but it's an SUV." No, you have an SUV, you don't have a car.
Right. Right.
So they want you to give them the car price for an SUV.
SUV.
Right.
Mm.
And I was always taught, I don't know if Rick did this, but armor raw, you just put it on everything. It shine.
Everything.
Yeah, put it on the dash and everything.
The
Is that
steering
why?
wheel.
Yeah, the leather seats and everything. You take that thing and now you glisten. So is that a bad move?
Um, Armor All is good, but I would get something specifically for whatever it is that you using the Armor All. So like
Hmm.
if it's the leather, I would get a specific leather conditioner for that leather.
Yeah, no, but I think in the hood we just get the normal armor raw and you just wipe down. You just wipe
Yeah.
down everything, baby. I'm clean.
Yeah.
So I will say that when that sun is doing this damage on them dashboards, like Rick said,
Mhm.
do they have something that you can buy that coat your dash ahead of time? Because I see a lot of dash. I don't know if the angle of the car or where they park at for that sun, but that sun do some damage
And it
on.
has that sticky film on
Oh
on
yeah.
the top
Yeah.
surface of it. Well, that goes to conditioning. So you have to condition that surface so once the rays from the sun is beating down on it, it has a layer of protection. It has a layer of protection in between.
Right.
So you have the surface, you have protection in the middle, and then you have the sun.
Right.
So it's not going to be the sun is not going to beam directly on top of the surface of whatever it is, the dash or the hood, because I see a lot of vehicles made the hood is fading or the roof is fading because they don't have any wax or any protection on it, so it doesn't fade.
Some of this stuff that comes out, and it'd be amazing on TikTok. They be saying they can get your old plastic to look back new. Do you try stuff when you see a video and you be like, man, if I use this, I'm making upsell another $25 or $30 if I get this. Do you look at it like that?
It depends on the product that they're using. Some of those products are gimmicky and it's not really going to get the job done. So what I typically do is if I see a new product, I do a lot of research on it and see how that product is going to affect all types of interiors. And from there, then I make my decision. And then if I do purchase the product, I'm going to use it on my personal vehicle first before I use it on a customer vehicle.
So are you currently producing your own products?
So currently, right now, we do have a class coming up, whereas we're teaching detailers how to make their own pH balance soap. We don't make any of our own products. We buy our products. We outsource it from a detailing supplier. But me doing this class of creating a soap is giving other detailers an opportunity to manufacture their own their own soaps, and we're gonna be manufacturing our soaps as well. But as of right now, we do go through a distributor.
Okay.
Hmm.
What you moving into that industry? How much you think you are saving on money by doing it yourself and even becoming a distributor to get in? I think it's huge if we can get into that space in any type of way.
Well, it's good, but you have to do it at scale in
Yeah,
order for it to make sense. What they're gonna be doing, they're gonna make like a gallon, so that's gonna be like 128 ounces of product,
right,
whereas they can use that on their vehicles. So that gallon may last them about a month or two, if they're using about 3 ounces of it. But getting into the industry of creating products, that's a whole nother animal within itself,
right,
and it's very time consuming to make sure you're getting the formula how you want it to be.
right.
So they do have companies that do what is called white labeling,
Yes,
whereas they have the formula already put together, and then you could come in and add, what it is that you want to add in it, just to tweak it a little bit to make it more yours.
Okay.
I
right.
would go more that route than doing it from scratch.
Yeah. China, I think plays a part. Do you think we need to visit China just as businessmen in general and
Mhm.
women? Because I see the deal you can get, especially if you can get over there.
Mhm.
So now, if you go over there and you negotiate the deal,
Mhm.
now you become the source that all the other details could just come true. And I think that pipeline, we
Mhm.
don't set up the pipeline like that. So
Mhm.
I think it's hard to establish in America because the price points just don't match. And
Mhm.
your competitors they're going to China or whatever.
Mhm.
And I see some of the deals, and I think most of the stuff come from the TikTok shop that you see. These new gadgets, it come from China.
Mhm. Well, as it pertains to the equipment side, you can get equipment at an affordable price depending on where you shop. When it comes to the product side, I still would kind of go through a trusted brand or a trusted
Right.
company that has formulated detailing products, because they've done something right if they continue to formulate those products. When it comes to going to China, that that's a good um, that's a good thing for us to do, to kind of like get the exposure of what are they getting it um, off market versus what they selling it to us retail or
Right.
wholesale. What are they true costs? But that's like a whole nother side
Yeah.
of distribution that
Right.
you really got to have a team to help you with that.
Right.
So you gotta be a selfless person
Hmm.
to go into the industry of mentoring and teaching.
Right.
Um, what inspired you to get into that detailing? Well, not the detailing, but that component of teaching younger people,
Hmm.
to get into a field where you could really be raking up all the money.
Right. Well, I originally started. I wanted people in my actual industry that's already detailers to be a part of the class and everything that I have going on. But I received a lot of pushback from that. So I said, if I don't want to keep beating a dead horse over the head, so why not get eager young adults that's looking to make money in a said industry or trade, that may be willing to learn auto detailing. So that kind of pushed me more to going younger, and then kind of doing my research of how things go when it comes to workforce development. A lot of funding is allocated towards the youth, 17 to 24, and people that are justice justice involved, or justice impacted.
Mm-hmm.
So with understanding those components, I'm a problem solver. So if I see that this is not working, I'm gonna take another route, and we still gonna get it done. I still have a space for all of my detailers that's out there. I have a what is called a ATC, which is Authorized Training Center. You could become an authorized training center. You just would have to come through us, get the certification, and then you able to teach as well.
Mhm.
So you can come aboard with us and teach classes, as well as you can train at your facility as well. So it's still keeping them, the more seasoned detailers involved, because I can't do this by myself. I need people that's in the industry. I need people that's trying to get into the industry, and we all have to come together. So I want to make sure that we put Louisiana on the map, because my goal is to make sure that this becomes a certified trade.
So for the
Mhm.
kid who's actually watching this,
Mhm.
and want to know, like, man, like, what's the retention rate? What, what does a day-to-day assignment look like, and how long
Mhm.
are those courses in order for them to get certified?
So for the youth, we have a 12-week program, and we start off with mindset, and from mindset, then we start working on um, understanding terms of detailing. Every industry has its own language,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and we have our own language as well. So I start with mindset because I want to make sure that you are locked in mentally. And then from being locked in, now you're able to receive everything that I'm pouring out into you. Now you're not gonna get everything in one sitting. That's why I encourage individuals that join our program, ask questions, participate, pull on my experience, pull on my knowledge, so I can give it to you. I'm willing and ready to give it to you. Just tug on it. Whatever you want to know, whatever you having questions about, whatever challenges that you having starting a mobile detailing business, getting your first client, how to price your services. Tug on my experience.
And I want to ask this question: have other entrepreneurs reached out to you to create? I have a Purnell Vending University, so I was doing the same thing with teaching vending.
Mhm.
But in other trades, have people reached out to you and say, "Man, you'll show me how to set it up like
Mhm.
you have it,
Mhm.
so I can do it just like that." A university like that. Have other
Mhm.
entrepreneurs reached
Yeah,
out to you?
I have a guy that reached out to me that does paint striping. Cam. So shout out to Cam. He does paint striping, and he was interested in learning more about um, how I set the school up, how to go about creating a curriculum, and being able to present it in a way where people will be eager to want to join and be a part.
Now I'm asking you and Rick. All right, if the school available, we got the money to get to school. How do we take this and say, you know what? This gonna be a public entrepreneur school. We gonna open it up. But how do we get the professionals in there? Just and we are all teaching our skills, but it's entrepreneur school. They got a
Mm-hmm.
former banker in there teaching banking and whole 9 yards. When you
Mm-hmm.
graduate from here, it's not
Mm-hmm.
up for discussion or debate.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready, qualified, certified to go out to the field.
Mm-hmm.
If that was to come to available, how do we get people from out individually doing it to now you like a school?
Mm-hmm.
So we may have to take less because I think the schools today is doing our kid a terrible injustice. We
Mm-hmm.
should have our own school,
Mm-hmm.
but if you take the entrepreneurs and we put us all in the school together,
Mm-hmm.
we might have to take less because the
Mm-hmm.
school what they pay per child for the school to have it won't be what you normally make
Mm-hmm.
on your own,
Mm-hmm.
but we all will be together and they'll be able to get the best. And now we built that next generation. We won't have to ask, well, where they got lost at because we built a place for them.
Mm-hmm.
So if that was to come available, something like that, would that be something you interested in?
Yeah, and it could work. How it would work basically would be you would have a framework of whatever the name of the institute is, and everybody will fall underneath that as a program.
Right.
So you would have an auto detailing program, 12-week program. You would have, landscaping program. So you have different programs. Now the key to it is they have to have a direction or a pathway to employment. So if you have that framework in alignment with the school, it's going to take off.
Right.
People are going to start jumping on board and you know giving money towards the movement that you're looking to do.
And I
Mm-hmm.
see the same thing.
I know.
Rick, let me ask this right quick before you ask. If whether it's Parkway with the landscaping or whatever, if we like the training program for them. So when they leave, they go get these jobs and then they can start their own business or they can start however. I think it'd be a great opportunity. And our kids, I'm not saying school is not good, but they got certain kids. It's just not an interest on how far the moon is from the earth. That's just not a class I prefer to be in.
Right.
And honestly, now I could take classes that can actually help. They got some kids, they get so excited when something like this come into school, and you can see them, it's just deflating when certain things come up in there. And it's like certain electives, it really don't do you no good at all. It's just there.
No, I'm with you. I totally with you. I feel like those trades, they matter. And as you mentioned, D, that every kid is not, not worried, but interested in the academic piece.
Right.
They want to know how to make money.
Right.
And being in the economy that we're in here in New Orleans, I feel like what you're doing over here at AutoSmart Detailing is like really important because these kids want to find different avenues in which they can go and make money because they not only taking care of themselves, they taking care of siblings too, and they raising themselves. So I feel like and I saw the living school. I don't know if you heard of that school. It was a school in the East. It was all trades in there. Like it was all trades.
What the name of it was?
It was called the Living School.
Off of Reed, huh?
Off of Reed. But that whole system got abolished or whatever. But everybody in there, it was entrepreneurs teaching the kids trades. But they did away with it. I don't know why. Was it a charter school thing or what? But again, I feel like we have to, come amongst ourselves and collaborate to make these type of things happen.
Man, and it's so important for us to get things like this done. What you're doing is so great, but as we speak to everybody out there, for individual skill level don't get us anywhere. It's group economics. So we identify any problems as we see our summer camps are coming up. We're coming out of just letting our kids run around all summer and not getting those skills. And then when it's time to get in the workforce development, they like 5 years behind because they wasn't actually doing it. At least I could say when we was in a project, you actually went there, but you actually was building stuff and playing and fixing bikes and everything. That was your own creativity. But now letting your kids run around, it do them a disservice. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break right quick. And one thing about it, you're being exposed. Welcome back, everybody. You know I'm a type of man like to put my hand on the tools, man. That's right, man. So when you come here, you get all this.
Yeah, you do.
So when I'm on side working, when I get out on Friday, I can take it with me. I gotta leave it in class.
Well, you're gonna have your own personal tool with you.
Oh, so hold on. Let me run.
Also,
so this one gonna stay in the class, and with my little kit, I get to take it.
Yeah,
man, that's dope.
So tuition come with the tool and everything.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
You can't beat that with a jackhammer.
So now I done did a couple of little buffing things myself, you know, in my car washing days. But I didn't burn people's cars a lot. I didn't went through a lot. I didn't mess people's cars up or whatever. But that was on them. I still want to get paid.
Yeah.
But when you using this stuff, and the thing about everybody, I want you to know the difference between coming to class. Whether you stand up at night, be getting a YouTube master's degree, the people that you admire, they don't tell you that they sit in class.
Yeah, they do. They do.
50 Cent, I was listening to him in an interview, and he was saying while he was on tour, they'll go to the concert, he'll be in his hotel room, highlighting words that he didn't understand, calling the lawyer, asking him or whatever. He in class. So class teach the mistakes, and I heard you say on Rick this earlier, but I put it in a different frame. Smart individuals learn from their mistakes.
Correct.
Wise individuals learn from other people's mistakes. So when I'm coming to class, I'm getting the knowledge.
Correct.
You're telling me about your $20,000 mistake for $1,700.
Right.
Now that prevent me from making
that mistake.
And for $1,700, I got, how many years you been doing it?
21 years.
I got 21 years of experience for $1,700, and now the mistakes that you made, I won't make. That's the great thing about coming to class.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people, they just don't want to come to class. They don't think that, they just think it's all about hands-on.
Right.
And it's much more. Tell us about the business side that you teach about it.
So when we do hands on, but we deep dive into business. And the reason why I teach you a lot about business terms, how to apply different um, business models to what you're doing is you want to make money essentially. So if you don't have the business background or the understanding of business, then you're not going to make as much as you feel like you want to make. So like everybody have these lofty goals, 100,000, 200,000. Well, how you going to really get to that goal if you're not tracking your expenses, if you're not tracking, what's your revenue, what's the net, what you grossing? If you don't understand a balance sheet, how do you know what you're doing? A profit and loss statement. So, understanding the business component of what you're doing is going to help you accelerate. And even not only just this, you can take the same business skills that I'm teaching you and apply it to something else.
Right.
So let's say you into detailing, you like detailing, but you want to, start renting out vehicles, or you want to purchase a home and do a fix and flip. All of these principles still apply.
Mm-hmm.
So it's transferable. So the information that you're learning is not, don't look at it in a tunnel as it's only for detail and I can't use it for anything else. That's not true. You can take these same business skills and apply it to different things. But as it pertains to detailing, you want to add that business component in it. It's going to give you a competitive edge when you start going to get dealership contracts and or fleet contracts. By you knowing your numbers, you know how far down you can go. So let's say, for instance, you can't go below $85. The person say, well, I'll give you the contract and we'll do it at $65. Now you're losing money on every deal.
Right.
So now if you're losing money on every deal, that means eventually you're not going to be able to keep that pace.
Right.
And then now what you're going to do is you're going to cut corners. And then now the product is not going to stand on its own. So now you're building a reputation. So all that is built up on knowing your numbers and how to effectively communicate those numbers when it's time to speak to someone about contracting jobs or even an individual customer. Once you start adding on a second van or a third van or a fourth van, those expenses have to be accounted. So we teach what is called zero-based budgeting, whereas we take all of your expenses and we break it down into a pie and we show you how each individual thing is accounted for. Your marketing, your insurance, whatever flyers that you get, whatever potential profit that you're going to have. So the reason why you do zero-based budgeting is every dollar that you make is allocated. And the reason why you want to allocate it because you don't overspend.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for instance, you made, $1,000. Your operation expenses is $500, just using it for easy numbers. And now you got $500 of profit. What you gonna do with that? You're gonna say, man, I got $500. I'm gonna go buy this. No. You take that and you put it back into what you have going on.
So it sounds like AutoSmart Detailing accounting, huh? At that point. Yeah, but that's good. Learning how to budget your money, and that's a key component to entrepreneurship.
Right.
So during the process, are you more so pushing them into entrepreneurship and contracting, or are you teaching them to just understand the business and go work for a larger corporation?
I'm giving them both sides. I'm giving them the actual what it is when you gonna work for someone, what it is for you to work independently. I suggest that when you're just coming out of school, you need to work underneath someone at least for 6 months to a year. Now, some people say, well, why would I do that if I'm coming to school and I want to be an entrepreneur? You're going to learn a lot from the experience of the person that you're working with to be able to add it to your experience to make you more valuable in the marketplace.
Right.
And when you do that, now you can charge a little bit more based upon your experience. I always tell guys that view my videos and watch my YouTubes that you don't sell based upon price, you sell based upon experience. And that experience is based upon what problem do they have and how you can solve that problem. People are paying you to solve problems. That's why they pay you more than they'll pay a traditional person that's just out there washing cars hustling for $15, $20.
Yeah.
And what you think the biggest difference is? Do you teach them to work under their name, work under, get an LLC, and work under their business, or just continue? It's like you're hustling if you're working under your name.
So we talk about tax structures. I have a person that is works with the individuals about understanding tax structures and how does it benefit you, and which you should set your business up as. So we do touch on that component of it. So if they want to go out there on their own and do it, then they can. That's why I set up the authorized training centers and have the detailers be a part of the school. So once the individuals leave, now they can go to a trusted, vetted person that I'm
Right.
confident that the work that they produce is of a level of a quality that once you leave from underneath them, you're even more impactful. So now you got the education component, the school component, and now you got the work experience.
And it would be more like the barbers have schools. It's like you trying to unite and say, well, now if you say you went to this school, I can hold you accountable for what your work, because I know that's what we teach at this school. I'm associated and affiliated with this school.
Correct.
You ain't learn that over there.
Mm-mm.
You got this from somewhere else.
Mhm.
So, but I like what you're trying to do. It organize your industry.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I see that this industry needs structure, and I'm here to make the structure.
What is the pushback? The biggest pushback you're getting?
Um, I would say by me not being a certified trade, that's why I'm getting a lot of pushback. To curve that is what I'm doing now. Getting students in, presenting a program to them, having graduates, and by the graduates speaking on the behalf of the school, it's solidifying the school that it is a need. I do have a network that I'm creating where I have employee partners, so car rental companies and dealerships, and then underneath that you have the authorized training centers. Those are individuals that's detailers that's in the industry that want to teach the next generation, and they come aboard with us as trainers. And then from that part, the students have an option, and they're able to work inside of the network because everything is just a networking effect. And now I'm working now on a bill that I want to present in Baton Rouge for workforce development, tying in workforce development and auto detailing together to be able to present it in a way where we can get the trade.
And is it accepted more as still like a hustle, not as a legit trade?
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm showing that it's more than just a hustle.
Right.
It's an art to it. It's knowledge. It's a skill. It's everything every other industry is. Our industry just haven't been formulated yet.
Right.
So basically, I'm taking everything you see in the barber and hair industry, and I'm creating that from scratch.
Right.
So you're seeing it in real time.
And so what you say, let's just say you got a guy in the hood, his pushback on be, man, look, I already washed cars. Now I got to go get once you start becoming professional at anything, now that's when Uncle Sam say, hey, come over here. Now they put a permit for this. You got to have this. You got to have that. So the guy that just got his stuff and wash cars under the bridge, I got all my stuff. Nah, because you want to go take your professional ass up there and go get us professionalized. Now they telling me I got to have a permit. I got to have a detail number. I got to have all this. Do you think that helped or that hurt him? Because he looking at it like I was already doing my thing. You put us in a professional category. Now I got to pay to do what I've been doing.
Right. So what it does for him, it gives him a network. When you when we do get it passed and we are considered a certified trade, you have a school that you can come to find your workers. You have a school that you could come to get more jobs. And now people are not going to question your credentials because you're coming through us. So if you are a guy that's hustling and you're like, man, why is he doing this? It's not to hurt you, it's to benefit you. It's to expand what we have going on. We have to come together. This industry have to come together to be able to help the next generation move forward. Anybody, I'm not going to say nobody's going to be affected by it. If you are affected by it and you feel like it's too much or it's overbearing or I'm cutting you out, come be a part of the school. We're gonna help you. We're gonna work with you. You know, I want this school to be a place where you can come and get funding for your auto detailing business, where you could come and get training, where you could come and meet other professionals, where you have a network of dealerships and car rental companies that you can tackle, and we can do it together. So let's say we have a job that may be $1 million, and we got 4 or 5 different detailing companies coming together to complete this job. You're still benefiting, you're elevating. It's about the elevation of the industry. We've been in a stagnated position for a very long time. Product side, we've been moving, but when it comes to structure and elevating the industry, we stuck.
Man, that's a lot, man. Stuffed into an egg, just not, man. I'm telling you, we getting it. I hope you guys getting the knowledge, but we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Now, we told you guys about the business. You know, I graduated. Y'all going to see the pictures. I got my camera. Rick, he kind of passed it. He failed the test at the end. But don't worry about all that. He come back next semester.
Yeah.
But I want to know, we got a little game. We always like to play a game. We got traditional New Orleans.
Okay.
All right. Are you born and bred in New Orleans?
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans.
New Orleans. All right. All right. This first question. If you, like I said, you gave me a test, I passed the test. Now I'm giving you a test.
All right. Let me see.
9:00 at night. 9:00 at night. What come on Old School New Orleans on Q93?
Oh, 9 o'clock props.
A 9:00
props
prop. My
is
man,
on.
that's one. That's one. He from New Orleans. All right. Late night, you go and get something to eat. At Allegiant Field in
Jeans
St.
po' boy.
My
He
man,
ain't even
man.
have
My
to,
man.
couldn't even finish it. Huh? You already knew.
Gene Po' Boy. Now tell me, when you go to Gene Po' Boy, what you normally get
Hot sausage.
Hot
Or roast beef. Everybody
Oh,
get
yeah, the roast
roast beef
beef.
dressed.
and how it come.
Sloppy.
Sloppy, rolled up in a plate. Come
Rolled
on, man.
up,
That's
yeah.
a $2 plate. All right, all right.
Uh-huh.
This next to let's see. When you're going to the Old School Super Fair, to get a discount, what you had to have in your hand? Old School Super Fair, Superdome. Come on, man. Now Pepsi, Super Fair, Superdome.
I don't know.
Pepsi, Super Fair, Superdome.
A Pepsi?
Yes, a Pepsi can.
Pepsi can.
I'm gonna give my man an A-. Man, you did so great, man. You have educated us, man. Let everybody know how they can find you and when the next class and how they can register.
All right, you can find me on my socials. It's gonna be AutoSmart Detailing Vocational on Instagram. We have a class coming up, a 12-week class coming up August the 3rd. You can start registering now. The registration fee is $350. The total amount of the class is $1,750. The registration is $350, and then the $1,400. We do break it down into payments to be able to make sure that you get in and you start learning and getting the knowledge.
Once again, baby, you have been exposed. I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, the street speaker. Yo, Rick, take us home.
Man, we hope this session was just as informative to you as it was to us. Patrick, thank you, man. And you have been exposed.
All right.